How's it going, Gemini? It's Robin here with AriesFireTarot. I always feel like making bunny ears. Welcome to the channel and welcome to your February 2021 bonus tarot card reading for your sign. So I found this spread for Year of the Hierophant, and let me tell you a little bit about that. So it's 2021, so if you distill those numbers out, it's a number 5, which is the number of the Hierophant card. So this is going to be focused a little bit on your spiritual life and your spiritual practice this year. And I'm going to read from the companion book. So this says, when this card appears, it reminds you to be committed to a spiritual practice to ensure a conscious contact to your higher power. When you have a daily practice of prayer and meditation steeped in gratitude and committed to being a co-creator, life works in a wondrous way. Rituals are in your highest good at this time. Exchanging vows is also highlighted. So, you know, your spirituality could really grow this year. Your contact with your team and spirit could really grow this year. I'm just going to start shuffling the good tarot. You know, your spirit guides are all around you. It could be your ancestors. It could be your angels. You know, depends if you're a star seed or a light worker. You know, you could be surrounded by star councils. I think if you're being drawn to my channel, like, you're probably have some sort of spiritual or religious belief. So this should be a really interesting reading. Even if you're not a particularly spiritual or religious person, this is probably going to be a really helpful reading, and this is going to be for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, and any Gemini cross watchers. So we're going to have a look at what your primary teacher is. Like, where is your biggest lesson going to come from in 2021? So we've got the World card. So this is a really interesting card to start off with. So there's going to be some sort of huge accomplishment for you this year. Hold on. Sorry, needed some tea. So it's the end of a cycle that you have really powered yourself through. Maybe not the easiest path for some of you. Something that maybe you never thought was going to be attained for you. It could be, you know, a business or a wealth scenario. For some of you, I'm definitely seeing the end of a long struggle with a health problem. You know, the World card is that sense of achievement. I finally did it. And I think for some of you, this could be some sort of really high athletic. I'm really sorry, guys. Hold on. Sorry, I had a tickle in my throat. So a really high athletic achievement, you know, like your first triathlon or your 30th triathlon, you know, something really powerful. It's like going to be the year of the exposure of your true grit. Something that you probably thought that you would never make it through alive. I'm seeing also that this could be something very traumatic that happened for you guys. I'm actually getting some sort of dark imagery where, hold on, I'm really sorry, guys. Okay, I'll try not to cough again for this reading. Have you ever seen that show, I Survived, where people, you know, they escape the clutches of some crazed killer, psychopath, stalker? I see that there is at least one person out there that happened to, you know, and maybe you just didn't think you were gonna live. There's something here that you guys just never thought you would be able to accomplish or live through, and you're going to see exactly what it is that you're made of, because, like, you triumphed over that, you know. So what are you breaking free from this year? So I pulled the 5 of Earth for you guys. So this is breaking free from any sort of perception of lack or not having enough, not being strong enough. So that really goes hand in hand with this achievement here, what your teacher is going to be. It's like you're going to have this new insight into yourself, like, wow, I am amazing. Like, I really... There's that Beyonce song coming in my head. I'm not going to give up. I'm a survivor. You know, you guys are going to have a new anthem pulsing through your veins this year. Like, I beat that cancer, you know? I outran that lunatic. Like, that one was really, really bothering me because I see that one very clearly. If that happened to you, go ahead and comment. You don't have to, because honestly, that's a very, very scary situation. I had a stalker when I wasn't even 20 years old yet. And that was insanity. So that's probably why I see that so clearly, because I resonate with it, and I've got that in my memory bank. So you guys outran something. You outlived it. You are the survivor. So you're not going to see yourself as somebody that is susceptible anymore. You're going to see yourself as very powerful with that 5 of Earth, like really breaking free and being on top of the world. So this is a very strong combination. So let's see what tradition you guys are undoing in 2021. And this is a life-altering. This is life-altering, what is happening here. And not very many people are going to understand it unless they're part of your club. You know, they'll go, oh, okay, good for you. Like, they'll listen to your story and maybe commiserate, but nobody, unless they went through what you went through, your experience, are going to understand the metal, M-E-T-T-L-E, that it took. Like, the absolute sand of it. You know, so what tradition are you undoing? You've got the Hermit card here, so... You know, this is the path of solitude that you had to go through in order to get to the other side of whatever. It could be a deep heartbreak, trauma, illness, lunatic. If you're here watching this, you're still really scared. You're not at the point where you're over it yet. You're probably not sleeping nights. You're probably still in this hermit mode. You guys probably, whatever sort of path you guys took, like, you really had to go down a path on your own, you know? Those of you that were training really hard for something, if you're a solo performer like that triathlon, you probably spent a lot of time on your own. So this huge accomplishment is going to bring you to the other end of the tunnel, and you can open the door from hermit mode and step out into the light again. There is something you guys can release from that, either having that sense of accomplishment, like chasing the dream that you've had for years and years, like people that are climbing mountains, which I don't understand. You know, you could finally hit the pinnacle, hit the height of what it is that you're trying to achieve, and not feel so alone anymore. Your fear could let up this year. Your health could really, really improve this year. It's the end of that where you felt like you were alone. Even if you were surrounded by people, you don't feel that anymore, you know? You don't feel that aloneness, and you might even meet other people that triumphed over the same sort of situation as you. And there's always somebody that has an almost identical experience to you, and that can really help you not feel so alone. Let's see what your spiritual practice could use enhancing in this year. So I've gotten this one a couple times here. So, like, for other zodiac signs. So this is the call. I'm seeing where some of you could really be inspired to be of service to other people, to humanity, you know. Maybe you want to be a doctor or a lawyer or a firefighter, or, you know, something that is going to change the lives of other people. There's some sort of following that you guys could gain. So if you guys have been guided to do something, it's time to answer the call, whatever that is for you. Like I always think of Joan of Arc when people get a calling, right? You know, because that was the most incredible one for me. A 16-year-old girl taking up arms and leading an army. Like, you know, that was a divine calling. You guys have a divine calling, and you probably never would have been able to touch this if your trauma or illness or success hadn't cracked you open. So you'll probably hear that call after you wrap up that sort of, I made it, you know, after you get that feeling of accomplishment. There'll be something come in and you'll go, say that again, you know, and you'll follow. Because you have to. Because now you know that you can make it. Because you've made it through this huge, momentous event that other people don't even probably have the slightest clue how much it took for you. Like, really, what you had to go through, what you had to, like, really gut out, like, and really, like, I have to make it. They don't understand. They don't understand. And you'll be given the gift of your calling once you go, wow. So what are you being called to teach others? That's interesting. So this is really important here too, patience. So teaching other people patience and that things will change for the better. There's something very strong about this, you know, that you can be strong in your silence also. It doesn't always have to be screaming from the rooftops. I see where you can teach people the quiet strength, the really true strength. I don't have a lot of, you know, for the chest pounding, I'm amazing. For me, those people are a little bit over the top, but there is something in you, like you didn't really complain about it. You just went through it. Like, this is happening and I have to get to the end of it. And you can teach that to other people, the power of quiet strength and your inner strength and an absolute deep fortitude. I'm going to pull one more card here. So what is changing for you in the year ahead? So this is Fortune's Wheel. So this is obviously a really high karmic life event. Really depends what your belief system is, you guys. There's a lot of people, and I'm one of them, that, you know, your soul comes down to earth, and I just saw angel number 333, to learn lessons. And this is a really, really big lesson. I'm seeing here where you guys actually might evolve out of the reincarnation process. You might not have to come back to earth again, which will be probably a huge relief for a lot of people. Like, if you understand the reincarnation process and soul contract process, if you haven't heard of stuff like that, I talk about it on my other channel, Oracle Rising. Your soul contract and having to achieve certain levels of knowledge and attain a certain, almost like a status, you know, while you're here on earth. It looks like this is going to be the one experience that is going to help you finally find your freedom as a soul, as a like divine love and light, where you don't have to keep on reincarnating down on earth unless you volunteer, like one of the 144,000 light workers. You know, they volunteered to come back down here to help out. So it's like you guys have learned a really deep lesson. and you're going to pass go. Like, a lot of people think that life is a game and you have to keep on going through levels and beating bosses and going through, you know, if you've ever played any sort of video game where you go up against all these horrible monsters, and this is the year that you beat that horrible monster and you come into that zenness with this patience card. A lot of you could really start taking up a spiritual practice here with that call card. And maybe you have seen God, you know, maybe you have seen your angels, because I'm seeing some really close calls and near-death experiences here. And, you know, once you've faced a death or a tragedy and survived, your whole life changes. I think for some of you, you're going to end up writing a book or something like that. But it looks like you've finally passed the game of life, so you might not have to come back down here again. This is crazy what I'm seeing here, you guys. So, all right, first of all, like, you know, stay strong if you've really had that kind of incident, you guys, because it's life-changing. But also know that it was very powerful for you on a soul level. And the wheel is changed, and it's like you can now collect your $200 or whatever. So I'm really sorry I had to break so many times during the reading, you guys. Honestly, it's like I have to have my furnace on all the time, and it makes my throat so dry. I'm really sorry. Anyway, I'm going to leave you guys with that. And namaste, guys. Peace out. Bye.